semi-final matchup. Again, make sure you check out the Olimoleague Patreon, !Olimoleague in the chat. We'll give you the link over to that. You guys are enjoying the stream, of course. If you're enjoying what you're hearing right here, do consider supporting the channel. You can hit that follow button to see when we go live in the future. Our follower count is currently going up a lot because I was looking at this earlier. There's a bunch of bots that are starting following the channel, so I don't know what to do about that. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. Of course, if you're really enjoying, maybe you got a Twitch Prime sub you're just sitting on, you're like, I don't know who to spend my Twitch Prime on because I watch like 7 different streamers and they're all really cool. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you should decide on Wardy. I don't really have a way to convince you. I just think you should. It makes your choice easy. It's not a choice if I just tell you to use it, you know? But in serious, if you do have a Twitch Prime sub or you want to support the channel by subbing, it does help us run our own events. We take a portion of every subscription and we put it towards our own tournaments, so even more StarCraft 2 for you all and stuff like that. And it also obviously helps the stream keep going as well. So if that all sounds good to you guys, consider supporting. We have Solo top right, just about won out against Gumiho earlier, as we have Q at bottom left. His TVZ has been monstrous lately. And honestly, I feel like Kira and Solo, I cast these guys in Olimoleague and just online events so often, they always seem to be clashing against each other. And they always have very fun TVZ to bring into play. I'm going to jump on Crank's vision for a moment or so here, guys, as I'm just stretching my legs, having a bit of a wander while this game starts up. Orbital finishes up in the main base, and we are going to have the factory building there as well. So factory on its way, feelings, a couple of queens on the way out. TVZ, obviously, I feel like new repugnancy. We saw Gumiho playing mech on this map earlier. I feel Kua will bring a bit of bio to play here. Doesn't necessarily have to be on this map, but definitely in the series. It's not like Gumiho, who will just go kind of mech again and again and again if he's kind of got his heart set on it on, you know, any given day. So, yeah, definitely expect to see a bit more bio and some different styles to what we saw Solo playing in the quarterfinals. Obviously also means that Solo can, you know, maybe show something a bit different because the Zerg player in this matchup is the reactionary player to that kind of initial composition. And then once the initial composition is figured out, the Terran almost becomes the reactionary player because then the Zerg chooses their comp against, you know, bio versus mech. And then you as the Terran player have to decide, okay, well, do I want to go tanks here? Do I want to go Widow Mines here? You know, am I going to go for, you know, some kind of double, triple, you know, factory opener? Not opener, but double, triple, like factory, like mid-game. How much am I going to commit to the 2-2 timing? What timings can I, you know, do based on how fast the Zerg's going into Hive? So it's kind of funny because we always look at the Zerg as the reactionary race, and while they are kind of the one to make the major reaction early on, when it gets to the mid-game, the Terran is the one kind of reacting to the Zerg composition a little bit more. Fusion Core. Starting up here from QS. Solar is going to be taking a little bit of damage. So Overlord will be taking a few shots, will drop down. Fusion Core about to finish up. So it's going to be the Battlecruiser opening from Q, meaning that he is already showing us a little bit of the initial plan here early. First Battlecruiser starts on the starport. Reaper from Q going down to the bottom as Zergling from Solar around the top and over to the far left. Okay, and that's dropping down. Looks like Solar just wants to go in a pretty fast Baneling speed more than anything else right at the moment. Solar has shown us a lot of kind of Ling Bane only plays. And when he sees the Battlecruiser, he will probably become the reactionary player when it comes to setting up some, you know, setting up a Spire and probably going in towards Corruptors against that, as we see Yamato Cannons starting up. Hellions at the front and a Reaper Grenade to pop the Queen backwards. Able to do pretty well there. A few more drones on the way up at the moment, and Again, Battlecruiser production continues, so it's going to be more than just the one BC, which means it's very likely we see Yamato Cannon. There it is, starting up as well. This first BC comes in, instantly going to find a nice Overlord kill without taking much more than a couple of Queen shots. Should just finish off that Overlord. Yeah, first BC showed up and doing pretty okay. We're going to see the Queens coming forwards to push that BC away in the top side. 8 more drones on the way up, and actually Curate is going to go into mech, so 2 more factories on the way out. So we are going to see a similar style in what kind of Gumiho played in one of the maps. Gumiho was very reliant on Banshees in one of the games he got into a proper mid-game on. The other was Battlecruise, and that was the style which he actually had a lot more success with, and which I think is more successful in general right now. The power of the BCs being able to teleport around, teleport away from fights. So is absolutely making the right choice by going in towards Aspire to help deal with this. We have Hellions. We also get damage to Queen over here. I mean, the more damage Queens take off Hellions, the easier it is for the BCs to pick up those Queen kills in terms of a follow-up. A couple of factories finishing up as we do see the BC chasing down an Overseer as it flies over into the main base. Overseer will go down again. These Hellions from Cure hanging out in the bottom right as the BC able to pick off a drone. Rotron is going to be finishing up in the bin, and the speed starts out in the center. A bit more creep still just spreading forwards. 8 Corruptors on the way out. The Water Cannon finishes up. 2 more armories about to finish as well. Well, as Solo builds into Roach Corruptor, these BCs will continue to press to the front. They have their teleports to get away from fights. They have Yamato Cannons to utilize as well. Nice little scan, picks off the active tumors. Really keeping this creep spread pinned back, gives the Hellions and Cyclones a lot of room to work with, of course. The more room those Hellions and Cyclones have, the more damage they can generally get done, as there's going to be the Yamatos. A little late there, actually, so the first BC didn't get a Yamato off. The second did before teleporting away. Again, those Corruptors really do very well against those battle cruisers there. As we are going to be seeing the Hellions on the bottom side get picked off as Kyo went to deal with the BCs. So nice play by Solo, taking advantage of Kyo's distractions. Now we're going to be seeing a few Ravages from Solo morphing in down this ramp. A lot of creep spreads setting up out the front, and the Hellions and Cyclones coming out over the right-hand side. Thank you so much to Miro Kira coming in with the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. You see Banelands rolling forwards. Hellions continue to do pretty well there at the moment. So we're going to push that creep forwards once again, just that little bit. Again, it's pretty slow creep spread because of the denial by the battle cruisers earlier. So with a lot of Zerglings again looking to use those to soak up the Cyclone lock-ons, take away that efficiency that the Cyclones usually bring. Hellions dealing a little bit more damage. Cyclone locked onto the Queen. Nelly gets the kill. Hellions pulling back down to the bottom side. Things getting a bit of a surround, and the Cyclones are going to be picked off there. So the Cyclones fall. Now we have 2 more Infestors coming up as well. 2 more Cyclones still on the way out. +1 missiles, +1 melee. These upgrades going to be finishing shortly. As the army continues to gather together. Bane's morphing in, a few extra Corruptors on the way out. Hive going to finish in a moment or two as the BCs from Q are coming across the top side. Is going to drop down, going to be able to pick off a lot of the Infestors. The Fungal Growth stopped the teleports away, but now teleports are available and Q will just utilize those. So the Infestors, an interesting addition here from Solar. It's kind of weird because I feel like a couple of weeks ago we saw Infestors being built every game against battle cruisers, etc. Neural parasites, locking them down, stopping them from teleporting out, etc. Now it feels like the Zergs kind of moved away from them a little bit, but Solar will go into a few here. You see the Cyclones Way up as well. He's still pressing around in the center. I mean, Kyo hasn't changed it up from the Battle Mech style yet. He's still going into the same set of units. Cleveland Hellions doing pretty well against the frontline Zerglings though, and there's honestly not that much Roach Ravager mixed into the army from Solar at all, so once the Lings go down, there's not much of a follow-up from there, as you do see the few units of Kyo sitting down on the bottom, and they're going to go ahead and across to that bottom right-hand side in the next few moments. Overlord goes down, a couple of Zerglings picked off as well. Lings continue to run forwards here, the Hellions having to continue running back. Cyclone's going to get surrounded a little bit. The Hellions continue to run with the Cyclones at the moment. It's coming all the way down to the bottom. There's Banes flanking from the right-hand side. Going to be able to get some kills. The fifth base comes up from Kyo. And Kyo's just been an expanding machine at the moment. He's not stopping. Going crazy with that so far, as we see the 2 extra starports finishing up. Zerglings. A few split away to the top side. Other Hellions and Cyclones into the middle of the map. Getting good lock on. Going to be able to pick that Queen off, so Queen will go down in another scan. A lot more Crypt Tumors still being picked away at the moment. So again, just Kyo kind of holding Solar off in the middle of the map, but very soon you have to do something more than just hold him off, because Broodlords are on the way. Ravagers picking off these rocks. Another set of Balins from Solar morphing in as well. 2 more battle cruisers building up here from Kyo. We have got Hellions coming in from the top side, Lings pressing forwards as well, and again, just Solar splitting units away pretty well to deal with these counterattacks. Kyo is just trying to trade off some units and for some supply, because he is starting to build up more battle cruisers, and he has starports that are not currently in use, so just trading out supply nice and efficiently, get rid of some of these drones. Actually going to morph in Hellbats over here, straight up just going to attempt to kill the base. Again, anything you can kill off of this is nice, but that Danelight's coming to respond. That's a lot of the Hellbats going down pretty quickly. Well, kills a Spine Crawl and a couple drones, not much else. But again, it frees the supply for the Battlecruiser production. 2 more of them starting up right away. This can't really go into increase here, so this is where the Neuroparasites are going to become very important, because you really do need to take away the Battlecruiser number a little bit as we are getting this set to go. Nice model cannons on the Infestors though, that's pretty good. However, the Corruptors are doing a lot. There are a few Cyclones locking on. Not too many though. The Missile Turret trying to do something here at the moment. Broodlord's still dropping down on top of this Planetary Fortress, and we are going to be seeing the Corruptors. They do have Caustic Spray. I'm surprised we haven't seen that to help out. Just kill this off a little bit faster. Q will lose the forward base. Taking a moment to regroup. Cyclone locks on but gets killed instantly. Again, it's the Battlecruisers. They just don't do amazingly against the Corruptors, and without the Cyclones to properly help out, this is going to be a bit tough, because there's just so many Corruptors here, and Solar pressing through in towards the main base. BCs continue to drop down. Looks like Solar has plenty to work with here, and I mean, Broodlords, obviously, if the Battlecruisers are being busy fighting the Corruptors, there is nothing to go up against the Broodlords. So the Broodlords are going to be doing very well, and GG will be called. Solar picks up game number 1 of this best of 3. So an example of somebody that does that. Alrighty, to the bottom left-hand side, we are going to start this off with our red Terran player who is down a map. This is Kyo. Zerg top right Solar is going to be up against a proxy Rax. Now Kyo sends these across the map. So he sets up over on the far right hand side, barracks dropping down. He's actually going to build the next barracks quite far back because he is going gas, so no, he's actually going to come forwards. Okay. So it is going to be proxy 2-Rax Reaper. Now, Kyo has shown us absolutely pristine Reaper control in TVT and TVZ lately. So So getting this ready to roll. The second barracks dropping down. Solar, he scouted over to the left-hand side initially with this first overlord, so he's actually going to be missing information here. There's a lot of ledge space to utilize when it comes to those Reapers. And this can absolutely get out of hand very quickly. A lot of the time when the Hellion follow-up comes in, you have like 8 Reapers and a few Hellions. That's when it gets even more dangerous, because if you've been slowed down and lost a bit too much, suddenly you have no way to deal with the Hellions and Reaper support. And that becomes pretty tough, as we do see the first Reaper already on the way up. Second Reaper will start shortly. Overlord around the top side, there's the 2 Reapers. Supply depot will drop down as well, and waiting for this pressure to begin. What's up to Sturge in the chat? Says, hi everyone. First time here and I love StarCraft but haven't watched it in years. Welcome. Good to have you. Tuned into heck of a tournament. Olimoleague is some of the best Korean StarCraft outside of GSL, etc. So, welcome. First Reaper, dealing some damage. The Zergling's going after that Reaper now. Second Reaper showing up is going to go straight for the drones. Good micro so far from Kua. Pulling that Reaper away to the side. Good control from Solar, keeping a lot of his low health workers alive. There's now the Reaper microing on the natural. And Solar saves the drone over on the natural expansion too. Great play by Solar and Kua. I mean, it's not hard for Kua to be controlling those 2 Reapers at the same time. But it's also not easy for Solar to protect his drones in 2 places at the same time. Finally, Kua is able to find a kill. That's a very interestingly placed grenade. And it's actually very nearly going to cost him the life of a Reaper. Just gets away with it. Oh my god, the Queen gets a shot off, but it's 1 HP. Just saved there. Queens respond back to the main base. The Reapers come in again. Another grenade drops down, popping the Lings around. Speed going to finish shortly. Again, the other Reapers here from Kua. Out over to the left-hand side. 2 more Reapers in production. Going to be going to chase after the Reapers over here and going to drop a grenade. And then it's going to get turned away. So at this stage, obviously, Solar is being kept back to just 2 bases. There's no 3rd base in play. And Kua's going to keep the Reapers alive. So pulling back with the Reapers, he will still have them available when the Hellions start up very shortly. So, like I mentioned, once you get up to a few Hellions and you still have the 7 or so Reapers in play, that becomes a very dangerous push then for the Zerg to deal with. So that's going to be the next stage of this. As the command center comes up, Kua can sit back defensively. He knew Ling Speed was ready, and so there's too much risk because he's building the low ground CC. There's too much risk of the counter-attack of Lings coming in, etc., while he's harassing with the Reapers, and of just the Reapers getting caught. So instead he pulls back, waits for the Hellions, and then he'll get back on the map again. You're going to invest in a Viking, which will pick off this Overlord, but not before it sees the Fusion Core. So, Fusion Core here from Kua is scouted, and he knows Solar now what is going on. Reapers, 2 Hellions through the middle of the map. I'm going to start applying some pressure onto the 3rd base, especially over here. I mean, the Queens are off creep, so they're very slow moving. It's definitely a good place to apply some pressure. Viking is going to get the Overlord. Kua actually just decides to pull back, setting up an armory. Fusion Core cancels. It was a mind game. Now Solar's going into a fast lair. No, he's got a Roach run. He's going to build a couple Roaches. There is an armory building, so it looks like it was just altogether just a straight up mind game from Kua with the Fusion Core getting scouted. Although he adjusted his build based on what Solar scouted. And yeah, Solar built a couple of Roaches, but only a couple, and currently supply blocked as well. Medevac coming in, and again, we are very close to getting in towards a Hellbat base attack. First Roach is going to go down. It's going to cause Solar to build a few more Roaches here, as the Zerglings don't really want to run into that many Hellions. Again, the Reapers just trade very well here. Queen going down too, and Solar losing a lot in the first few moments of this. Obviously, Medevac coming across the map will be nice. Heal up the Reapers, heal up the Hellbats once they've morphed in. Again, extra Roaches on the way, but Solar's starting to build drones again. He's building more Overlords because of them supply blocks, and well, he doesn't have a lot to deal with this right away. Again, the extra damage of the Reapers that isn't usually here for these Hellbat attacks will go a long way, and so these Roaches and Queens are dying a lot faster than we might be used to seeing. The Reaper's been very cautious to let the Hellbats be in where the Zerglings are coming in from. In the end, the damage up the ramp is a bit too much. Doesn't quite save that Hellbat either as he tries to pick it up and get it out of there. And this medevac coming boosting down to the bottom side. That's 2 more engineering bays on the way up from Cura in the back of the natural. More barracks starting up in the main. Stimpack moving along, about halfway done. The third CC also going to be finishing shortly. Factory lifts up, moves over to a tech lab. Again, the Hellion Akira coming over the right-hand side as the Reapers press up to the top. Not going to do too much just yet as the Spire halfway done. Still have Roach speed on the way up on the Roach Roar and Spire. It's going to be finishing shortly, and Medevac's going to drop the Hellions off into the main base, so Hellion's going to be unloaded over here. And here they go, pressing into the main. Chasing after the drones. A few drones already going down as 4, 6, 7 workers killed so far. Coming around the other side as well. The Hellions did a pretty good job of this. I mean, this is a nice little drop, right? 8 drones killed. Definitely some damage that was needed. Maybe not needed. Just additional damage on top of what Kyo was able to already achieve this game. So job pretty well done. Overseer hiding off over to the main base. We still have this Viking dealing a bit of damage. The Reapers, I love the fact that they are still alive. They're going to be poking around. See what they can do. Finally, the Mutalist take to the stage though, and it's a Solar Spire coming into play. It's going to be a bit of a Lingbane Muta play here on Turbo Cruise. It lies in the ledges you can jump over on the map, etc. Just going back up to the top. Just following these around for a couple of moments as we really have a little bit of slow down period. Kira has gotten towards, I mean, he's got 1-1 already, but he hasn't started 2-2, which is a shame because he already has the armory, and obviously being able to keep the upgrade advantage is a big part of Terran versus Zerg, so it is a shame that Kira is not really kind of going in towards 2-2, honestly. Mulisks fly in, they'll pick up a couple kills on the back. Banes getting rid of a couple SCVs over here. The Marines able to pick off a Baneling as well. Good push up the right side, will find a hatchery, but he doesn't have too much here, honestly, and Drone Claws is on the way. He doesn't have any Widow Mines in this army either. That's all going to be reinforcements, which are starting to press out on the map now. 3 Widow Mines at a time. I love the introduction of a Thor as well. Obviously, the Thor goes a long way towards helping out against the Mutalists, especially. A good little bit of splash damage, etc. Really creates a lot of dangers. We are going to be seeing the Lings and the Banes. Going back to the center, Mutas coming forward, picking up a Marine. The Marine's going to stim forwards as well. Good couple of kills. It's up the left-hand side. The Bio pressing in to pick off even more creep spread. +2 melee, +2 carapace. On the way up on these evolution chambers, and we're ordering a few Marines going to be running back now. Even more Bio pressing into the center. A couple of creep tumors going down. Infestation Pit will finish up. 3 more barracks on the way in the main base. The Mutalisks, the Zerglings, the Banelings. Coming down the left. As that turret fires away, Muta's taking some damage there, but you are going to be seeing the army of Kua continue to press out over to the right-hand side, getting ready to attack in towards the base over here. And Kura has put himself into a position where he can, well, he can really push and deal some damage. 2 upgrades will finish shortly, and so he will be able to be back on that upgrade lead for a little while. If he can hit with that upgrade lead, that would be huge. Counter-attack from Solar. 10 workers, and that will rise up a little bit further. At the same time, Kura struggling to get up this ramp. 15 workers lost in the end. There's the third base will be retaken. Fourth ready to land as well shortly. Going to take its position. Micro's dropping down. Going to get blown up there as well, just wandering forwards a bit too far out of its comfort zone. Still going through the center of the map. The Banelings as well, Mutalist overhead. I mean, at this point, Solo is just continuing to put himself in a position where he's just consistently going across the map and kind of forcing Q to turn around and pay attention elsewhere. Solo's looking very good at the moment as Banelings go crashing into this mineral line. 22 SCV is lost. Bio is still pressing in towards the right-hand side base now already. Hatchery will go down. Mutalist will get rid of the over command. Still pressing forward. Going to be seeing the Extractor in some trouble. Queen in some trouble too. Widow Mines will burrow a couple corrosive biles. Widow Mine will be picked off. And still supply depots just going down everywhere as Medivacs load up, drop down again. All over the place here at the moment as Kyo will still try and keep this push going, but he's supply blocked, he's losing bases, and Solo is looking comfortable. Ultras Kevin on the way, so he will have a switch into Ultras for the next stage of this game as well. Corrosive Biles get rid of that final siege tank as well. And now Kyo's trying to go up to the top left-hand side. Those Lings and Banes already there. Kyo is running into a brick wall at the moment, and that brick wall is Solar. His creep spread, seeping through the gaps, cementing the bricks together. He is truly just been pretty unstoppable in this series, actually. A real step up from how he played against Gumiho, where it definitely looked like there was a lot of vulnerabilities. He was very weak at points. He really just shut Kura down at every opportunity in this series. I mean, the Battlecruisers felt like they never really did much. You know, in this game, the Reapers did okay, but it never got out of hand. You know, the Reaper Hellion attack with the Hellbats, kind of, you know, for a moment or two, it was like, oh, and then it was just like, nope, Solo's, you know, dealt with this pretty well as well. Yeah, Solo really just had the better hand than Kura every time. Yeah, every time they were drawn against each other in this game. And now Chitinous Plating comes up. Now Ultra's Cavern is done. Obviously, the Ultra's on the way out, and there's a few Ultras take to the stage. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty as well as Lings running forwards here. The Mutalisks as well. Lingbane continues to head up to the top side of the map. And we are going to be seeing the Lings continue to run on forwards. Banelings coming in, connecting through as well. They're still hanging out up to the top side. We do see the Banes going to run in from over on the right. Pressing forward into this here. Banelings pressing in. I mean, Ultra's coming in from the bottom. A couple of Ravagers too, and this was Kura's last army. He does not have the eco to rebuild from that. Down half the supply and less of Solar. And that is it. It's over. Medevac gets blown up. GG from Kura. He falls in the semifinals today. And it will be a ZvT